All right, D.C. homicide detective Ron Wheeler joins us now with more on what happens to these convicted child molesters inside prison. And they are hated not only by us outside, but behind bars. Even convicted prisoners, even murderers, have no sympathy on the lowest of low.
You know, you're absolutely right, Julie. You know, I've taken some advanced courses in penology, which is actually the study of the prison culture and the prison sociology. And what we have found throughout the years, Julie, and our viewers will find is very interesting, is that, you know, the person that's most hated in terms of a criminal or prisoner inside of an institution is a child molester. Don't let it be a surprise to you when I tell you that a lot of child molesters that's sentenced to prison have to be put in isolation, because if they're not, they're going to probably be killed. So when I heard about this particular story and with this tattoo, I wasn't surprised at all. I was a little surprised that they actually didn't kill this gentleman, because that happens more often than we actually know about.
Are you surprised that they got away with it, that the prison guards didn't catch on?
No.
Do you ever think maybe they turned their heads?
Yeah, let me tell you, Julie, I mean, there's a reality to all of this, okay? Inside a prison, there is this culture that exists, and prison guards, you know, they do an excellent job and they're very professional, but I must say from time to time, they do turn their heads from certain things, especially, Julie, when you have a guy like this guy, or perhaps the guy that killed the little girl in Florida, I forget her name now. But, you know, guys like that, when they're sentenced to prison for committing these crimes on the outside, even murderers themselves that kill other adults and then sentenced to prison, they hate child molesters more than they hate anybody else. So I wasn't surprised at all, Julie, when I heard about this case.
You know, this guy was tattooed against his will, obviously. He was held down, I'm sure, by many guys, because he's a big guy. And it happened while prison officials were moving inmates into the cell block next door.
That's right.
You know, you think that this prison in particular will maybe set an example, that maybe prisons should buckle down? We don't obviously feel sorry for them per se, but needless to say, violence happens, and as you just said, child molesters are probably the most potential victims.
Yeah, you know, violence does happen. It happens inside the prison as much as it happens outside the prison, Julie. And I'll tell you, this one case, I don't think is going to really have an effect on the overall criminal justice prison system in the United States. Again, these kind of things happen more often than not. And like I said earlier, a lot of these types of child molesters especially are killed once they are sentenced to prison. So I don't think it's really going to have that much of an effect on the future of penology here in the United States.
I think you might have been talking about Jessica Lunsford earlier. Was that?
Exactly. That's exactly the child I was talking about.
Killed by John Cooey, a registered sex offender. They are the lowest of the low. And
exactly.
I have to say, it's hard to feel sorry for them, but this stuff does happen. Maybe these adults should keep their hands off of little children, and perhaps this won't happen to them.
You're exactly right, Julie.
All right, Rod Wheeler, thanks so much. Great to see you as always.
Thank you, Julie. You too.